One of my favorite Nesiv Shaloms. Ki SAITZAI l'milchama aleivecha. You go out to war on your enemy. He says, which war is this? This is the war that every person has with the Yetzer Hara. We go out to war and we get scared. V'reeeeeaaaalllyyy sus v'rechev. We see this chariots, right? Am rav mimcha. A nation that is stronger than you. He says from the Svarim HaKadoshim, you should know, you're looking at all of these chariots, these strong enemy of the Yetzer Hara. Am rav. It's a lot of people. He says, mimcha comes from you. Because every time that we sin, we give power to the Satan. We give power to the Yetzer Hara. So a person, it flips around the pshat. He says a person goes out to Milchama, and he's fighting his Yetzer Hara, and he was once a nice little innocent 12-year-old. Now he sees like, oh my gosh, this Yetzer Hara's huge army, massive army, tanks, missiles, right? Am Rav, you should know Mimcha. It comes from you. And still, what's the end of the pasuk? Lo yisira mehem. Even though you created the mess, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Doesn't mean, can you imagine? No fear. Why? Ki Hashem alekecha imach hamalcha me'eretz Mitzrayim. God can handle it. What happened in Mitzrayim? Mem teshari tuma, oivdei avodah zara, almost lost, bowing to idols, spitting in Hashem's face. We did all of the bad stuff, right? And Hashem loved you, and He took you out of Mitzrayim. Don't think you're worse than we once were. Isn't that beautiful? He says, yeah, ki SAITZAI l'milchama, it's a terrible milchama. And you see sus v'rechev, wow, Am Rav, a huge nation, a huge army that we have to conquer. Mimcha, and it's from us. Still, even if you sin a whole year. Leisira mehem. Don't be scared, because you have Hashem on your side. The biggest problem with sin is that we think that we lose Hashem. And constantly, the Torah is telling us, and that's why we're supposed to say, says the Nesiv Shalom, we're supposed to say, Yitzias Mitzrayim, Zeichel Yitzias Mitzrayim, twice a day, morning and night. Why? Why are we constantly remembering? It took us out of Mitzrayim, And everything in Kiddush is Zeichel Yitzias Mitzrayim, everything is Zeichel Yitzias Mitzrayim. Why? It happened. He says, because we have to constantly remember in the morning, as we go out, and at night, in the times of day, in the time of dark, whatever happens in the dark, in the night, in the day, nothing should make us feel unloved. Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim. Yeah, but I feel terrible. I sin against God. Why should He help me? Why should He be there for me? Hashem took us out of Mitzrayim. It's a message that we have to bake into ourselves. That's why we do it so often. How does this apply to our children? The fact is that children sin against parents. And then they have to know. They have to know that even though I sinned against you, it's okay. It's okay. I love you. My love for you doesn't change. The same way we want that from Hashem, and we get that from Hashem. So it helps us on a personal level that we have to know that no matter what happens, see the indirect or the direct cause of sin, as the Hasidic Svarim say, that the Yetzer Hara cares more about the Yush after the sin than the sin itself. Person could sin, there's spots in the day, in the calendar, but it's in between when he feels down and low, so his davening is low and his Yiddishkeit is low. In fact, the Nesiv Shalom says in a different place, very interesting, on Chatoim, a person can do tshuva. But how do you do tshuva on just not being into Yiddishkeit? On davening, on learning, weak. There's no tshuva on that. Why aren't we all powerful, davening, learning, whatever we do, the highest level? Because the Chatoim make us feel like I'm not Reb Chaim Kanievsky, I'm not whoever your rabbi is, right? So therefore I daven, and he's a holy man, he davens like that. So on that there's no tshuva. Chatoim are like kind of the least of the problem, because there's tshuva, and there's tshuva me'ahava, and they can become mitzvahs, right? But on wasting our time in between, on depression, on feeling low, on feeling far away from Hashem, on that there's no tshuva. So that's what he's saying. Even when you're going against the milchama, and there's an army against you that you created yourself by not listening to Hashem, lo yisira mehem, commandment in the Torah, do not fear. Why? Because Hashem took you out of Mitzrayim. What's the connection? The same way He took you out of Mitzrayim, and He said, B'ni b'chayr Yisrael. even before tshuva, and he was on your side, and he schlepped you out of that lowness. He is there for you today as well. With that spirit, that's how we go into every day and every night, especially when it comes Yom Neroim and Yom Kippur. He's on our side. And Siva Shalom says, I'll end with this, the best way to get the best din, to get the best judgment, is to have bitachon. Have bitachon in Hashem that He's going to help you. And the feeling is like, I can have bitachon in Hashem when somebody's trying to beat me up. I have security in God that you'll defend me. But how do I have bitachon in Hashem when I'm being judged about what I did wrong to you? Then we think like, I can't say, okay, save me. It's like, what are you kidding? The Siva Shalom says no. You can always have bitachon, emunah, and bitachon, believe that Hashem wants the best from you. And bitachon is a weapon of mass construction. And bitachon allows you to go to Hashem and to say, I have faith that you're going to give me a good year. I have security that you're going to give me a good year, even though I don't deserve it. And I'll apologize for what I messed up. That's what Yom Kippur is for. But I know I don't deserve it based on my actions. But I want to be good, and I will be good. But that's side thing. Bottom line is, happens to be that the person in charge of my life is a father, Avinu and Malkeinu, and he loves us, and we can have bitachon in that. He says, when you have bitachon b'Hashem, habitech b'Hashem, chesed yisai v'venu. So it's a tool, and we learn about this when we learn about bitachon. It's a tool to get around the system. He says the koach of bitachon is stronger than the koach of tefillah. Security in God, He's going to save you. Why don't we have it? Oh, I don't have it because of my sins. That's the nisayon. To not lose my security in my God over the sins I do against God. He can handle it. Lo yisir mehem. You didn't lose God. Don't be afraid of those sins because He took you out of Mitzrayim. That's proof that He's there for you 100%. So it's a nisayon in bitachon is that when I feel that I don't deserve it, to still fully be secure in God. There's a lot more on that he writes, but that's it for now.